under the bus when he barely played a couple of minutes. And I don't remember it even being a big chance. Anyway, this one, but he's wrong. He's not wrong. There's other options though. He's going on like Ethan's not there or nor's Eze. Like I know what he's saying. Okay, cool. The fullbacks, they weren't.
It's almost like how dare you question me type of
yeah,
thing,
he's doing his stubborn thing. He's doing his stubborn thing. But I don't know actually, because when after the game's done, people can say these things, and it kind of the buck stops there because you lost the game, which is frustrating. It is very frustrating, and I get as a manager, it must be frustrating because if it worked, or if he got a draw, if they won the game, no one will be talking about, you starting defensive players in there. They'll say it's a masterclass. So yeah. I do get that. I actually do get that point. I'm not going to go too in on Mikel Arteta. He has been a bit stubborn, but that's because I get it. I think he's frustrated because he's probably thinking the same thing I'm saying. If it goes the other way, which I've seen him rebuttal people loads of times, because when he'll say like, oh, but when we were scoring against Real Madrid or whatever, no one cared about the striker situation and things like that.
And he is right to a degree, but it's disingenuous.
He is. But again, he's only wrong because he lost the game. But again, exactly. I think that is harsh. I just think him say there is more options. He could have mentioned other options, because he could have said, I could have, if he said at the end in that quote, like, okay, I could have played Ethan, but I'm aware that they would have probably targeted him because of physicality and whatnot. I could have played Eze, but right now he's not ready to. I think it's a bit of a risk to bring or throw someone in the deep end. If he said all those other options, that makes the quote more fuller and then more full. Sorry, and then we can have a proper conversation. But I'm gonna lean more to his side on that one. The only one I am frustrated of is that Eze quote that I think is, which I can't believe it's real. I mean, people were sending it to me after the live I did the other day, and I still can't believe that's real what he said. I need to find it and probably discuss it. But yeah, he said about Eze missing that chance when he had the opportunity. I'm like, that's ridiculous. He was on for like 19 minutes, and I don't think it was even a clear-cut chance. So
well, go for the other hour of football, because at no point did I go, what a save, Alisson. Like, you go to Liverpool, that's my thing. I've got no shame in losing. We don't travel well to Anfield. Obviously, I wanted to win. I feel of the times we've drawn against Liverpool, that game that we actually lost, they were there for the taking. They've got their own teething issues. So congratulations to Liverpool. But I'm always of the belief, if you play the reigning champions, Salah dances past everyone, or Szoboszlai does what he does, or Van Dijk has a defensive masterclass, or Alisson shows why he's a world-class keeper, you're like, fair enough. Take nothing away from Liverpool. And yeah, it was heading for a draw, but we didn't make them work, and we didn't work ourselves. You've played football. As long as you can leave the pitch with no regrets, then fair play. But I feel collectively we have a lot of regrets. And I think Ash has summed it up well. Like, I wouldn't say I was happy with the Mourinho starting thing, but I think Ash has said it perfectly here. I had more problems with his subs than his lineup. The game plan was working, and Liverpool looks bad. Arteta needed to be proactive and make changes to capitalize on our momentum. Now, before I ask you about Martinelli, and we get a bit more into Eze, a lot of people say Eze isn't a left winger, and now there's a clamour for Eze to play left wing. Does that make sense to you? No. Like, do you understand why people might be saying that?
I'll be real. I'm confused on it, Deluded. I'll be real, because remember, I remember whether it's this stream, but I've been on streams galore and saying I want Eze in this Arsenal side. He's not a natural left winger. I always say that. He doesn't. I don't look at him and think, yeah, you manic push it, runs, step overs, all that, and you whip the ball. Like, I don't see that. But then Palace fans would tell me, oh nah, he can do everything. He can beat players and whatnot. But for me, he was never a natural left winger. However, and I see him as a 10 because he's got that much ability. But then I'm like, he probably can play on the left because he's got that much quality. I think he can play across the not front three, the left and the right, and in the middle. Really?
Yeah, and it's a need-must thing right now.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm confused because I don't know what his best position is. I just said I stick to my quote of saying, I just need him in this team. Whatever, no matter how, no matter where, he needs to be in this team. So wherever he lands, that is the manager's job. Yeah. So that's where I'm at when it comes to Eze. I don't know. I haven't even seen what the fans are saying. Is he a left winger? Is he a 10? I think people just get annoyed with Martinelli and say, well, he needs to put Eze there. Or people get annoyed with Odegaard and be like, just put Eze there. So it's like, when whoever's playing bad, it's like, just put Eze in. For me, that is kind of my solution. He just needs to be in the team. Like, ruthless or not, I don't care if it's our captain. I don't care if it's a player that we love because of historical reasons. You've got to play him. Yeah.
I'm with you with that. Just get a guy on the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love for the super chat, Nick. In my opinion, that Eze remarks were more to a hint at a possible penalty without bringing up the ref than a hit on Eze. I hear it, but it could be. Arteta would have to clarify that. For me, I just feel even for a team that's got 90 to 100 goals, and now we've got Eze, and we love Saka when fit, and all these things, we kind of are like across a 90-minute game, especially as Arsenal fans, where we're used to creating a million chances. We're still remembering the 2-3, what in Liverpool's case, one chance that we've made. And cool, if Eze bags or Eze gets a penalty, it's a different game. But cool, that's one thing. But what else are we doing? As much as I actually like being spot on defensively, thinking about the opposition, there is that hint and that element of what are we going to do to trouble them? Because we always talk, we'll get on to Martinelli, but we talk a lot about Martinelli going backwards. Of course, people double up against our wingers, primarily Saka, but we very rarely hear people say, oh, their wingers are in the team to keep up with Saka. So that's the territory I kind of want us to cross. I do want to ask you something. Yeah, for the last few years, what the manager said, we've got one of the smallest squads. Even when everybody's fit, the 11 kind of picks itself. And for all the players that have been on the bench, it's typically in the last few years been like 1 or 2, 3 players max that are coming off the bench. Now we look at it and we've kind of gone the other way in that even with injuries, we've still got a lot of options. Do you feel like while we needed depth and it's something that Arteta can't cry about, do you think he might have too many things now? Like he might have too many options, whether that's Eze or Martinelli, Eze in midfield with Odegaard, Wanyeri in the mix, so on and so forth. Like, could it be an issue that he's got too much things to think about now?
Never. There's no way. After hearing him say we're too thin, we're too short, we're too small of a squad. Even when even this preseason tour, he said that, and I called him out on it and said, even with the son of Victor Okerez now, do you still stick to that statement? And he kind of just swerved it. But I can't have him say there's too many players now. I'm sorry. There's no way I'll let him get away with that. Or if that was a narrative, because that's what you're paid to. That's your job. You got to make it work. I look at Chelsea and I used to laugh at them. Can't fit man in the changing rooms. They got an A and B team, but they won the Club World Cup.
Toilets now. I saw a report.
Facts. They got the club. They won the Club World Cup though, and they're making it work. They've got options and strong options in places. I saw the graphic. I think actually AFTV might have dropped it. Like each position, who the cover and who the depth, what the depth of that position is. And I look at it and think, boy, these are two strong, very strong squads. So, there's no way. There's no way that can be a narrative. He has to make that work. And bro, 3 injuries already. Like
madness already,
Right, like that's if anything, it's a blessing we have that many players. If anything, I'm still shocked that the board and Andrew Botta got so many signings over the line. So yeah, man,
Fact.
there's no way I'm using that as an excuse. He has to make that work. That if anything, it gives him more pressure. And if you don't bring silverware, hurry up and leave and bring the next manager in. That's mad me saying that, so then they can work with the players that we got. See, look at that. Oh my god, yes,
mad, isn't it? Norgard, even I think we all forget Norgard ain't really played like that.
Yeah, facts.
I would exclude Jesus because that was the one we knew we was getting into. Fair enough, Martin Odegaard and Trossard were on the bench. I do think we needed depth. In the best way we look at depth, it would have been a thing where who's on the bench, who's in the starting 11. Obviously, when there's injuries and we have a season like last year, we need to be able to absorb that. But then I also feel as well, Cecil, in that naturally Saka had a hamstring knock. Kai Havertz got injured against Man United, but Mikel Arteta said it was due to, the load. And then you look at Saliba, fair enough, it's an ankle injury. Where you look at the people who suffered hamstring knocks, probably Declan Rice, Magalhaes and Saliba. I do think Timber and White as well. I do think that factored into us having a bloated squad because we knew these men are going to pick up kind of knocks. Like, it's mad that I can't lie, life has come at us very quickly as Arsenal fans, man. But we should be able to cope, if I'm completely honest with you. What did you make of this man here, man? He stood up tall, bro.
Yeah, Mosquera he's a G, bro.
He looks a player still.
Do you know what it is? Like, obviously, I played the game. We all have, but like I remember I played in a team where your main guy goes down, and then a sub or a trialist or a new person comes on, and you're like, oof. The first couple minutes will tell you everything. And in this, it happened. Like Mosquera got the ball. I remember they were passing along the back, and I was like, they're pressing, Liverpool pressing. And I felt like Liverpool were targeting it as well. As this happened early on, it's when he first come on the pitch. There's like, I think Salah went to press him extremely quickly, and he dealt with it so calm. And I was like, oh, we actually might be all right. And then after that, he just like platformed and platformed and platformed.
Just grew and grew
better and better, yeah, throughout the game. And then, like someone mentioned to me in fan, they said like, no one was saying we missed Saliba in that game. So I'm like, that is a massive compliment. I said, you're actually spot on. And even in that photo, it looks kind of mager. Like, it looks kind of like, man can't really, but I never saw him get out weights. I never saw him even get like outrun. Saliba's very known for his recovery speed. Like, I never
Didn't
saw
look
him.
out of place.
Never. And he was up against some top players. Like, to say that Ekatike, Salah, and Gakpo were quiet. That's a credit to him because Saliba, he come off at like 4 minutes. So 3-4 minutes. So yeah, man, I'm very, very happy with that. And even in Cape as well, like doing the research on him and doing his breakdown, doing stats and looking at his clips, like I think like for like, if he steps in and say Saliba's back and then Cape steps in for Gabriel Magalhaes, I think we're in a very good stead when it comes to our number twos in those positions. And I never thought we could get players to close to the level of Saliba and Gabriel. I really don't, but I think we got
this man for 13 million. You know, we robbed them.
That's mental, brother. It's
Ridiculous.
Actually mental. It's mental. It's crazy. Like big up Andrea Berta, because I think when it comes to deals as well, he's done what even the Gyökeres thing. The Gyökeres, there was supposed to be 800 million euros release clause. The way they even got him down to like 60 something million. Like I think those go unnoticed and yeah, we always want the players. We don't care about money. It's not our money. But I think when you get players like that of that quality and you get them down for good prices, fair play, man. So yeah, Mosquera, hats off to him. What an incredible. I'm gassed for him. He's one that goes under him. He'll go under the radar as well, like as a superb signing. And I'm glad
he's one that you see in years to come. Yeah. Versus now we've got Zubimendi, Eze, Gyökeres, and that.
Exactly, you'll see him grow into the team. It was like when Ben White came in, like wasn't really feeling it, didn't really know much about him, and then what he's become for Arsenal has been phenomenal. I think Mosquera is going to have the same sort of trajectory. So all hats off to him. I wish him all the best, and I'm happy he's in the side, man. Big up Andrea Berta, big up the club, and big up him.
Being devil's advocate, yeah, obviously where Saliba's played and we've been accused of being negative anyways, but obviously when Saliba goes down 2 minutes into the game at Anfield, fair enough, it's early in the season and that, but it is Anfield, it is the reigning champions. He's come on, 21-year-old. There might be an element of protecting him, not that he needs protecting. Do you think that made us double down on maybe a conservative approach?
So that last bit, say the question again, sorry. So
do you think obviously with Saliba coming off, we was even more conservative with Mosquera coming on?
Oh, didn't look at it like
that. I
that.
don't necessarily believe that, but we played football. You can see maybe why that is the case. I think we've got a great defensive system, so people can just thrive anyways versus the other end of the pitch. But it might be a fair talking point. I don't know where you look at that.
It's an interesting talking point. I think, I mean, football is so high level these days. People can get information over quickly, so they could have. But when I watched the game, I didn't see Liverpool target Mosquera. I didn't see them target him at all. And to be fair, Saliba does play the covering defender, and he obviously took that role. But I never saw him get exposed. Like from what I got told is when they went in at half time, the information was to target the midfield and get more legs in the midfield. That's why Curtis Jones come on and kind of overrun the midfield, which is what we kind of saw.
This is what I'm saying. We need to change things.
This is So in my opinion, I feel like no, I don't think. They looked to expose Mosquera, and I never saw that happen. I saw the midfield get exposed, which is crazy. Which you said, it's like you said it's the substitutions in the second half that could have saved that or stopped that. In the end, we actually lost that, and that's where Zubimendi obviously lost the ball, made the challenge that led to the free kick. So that's where we kind of lost it. So no, I wouldn't put anything towards the conservativeness coming from him being on the pitch.
I want to ask you as well, yes, because you mentioned Gyökeres. Obviously, Hugo Ekitike, I feel he's becoming a bit underrated, obviously, because of all the talking points surrounding Liverpool with Isaac. I think had they have just got Ekitike, that would have been amazing. But you can see how he fits the system, and he's been at Liverpool all the time. Fair enough, Gyökeres isn't fully fit, and he's not had a pre-season and stuff. But then you've got Gyökeres, and you've got us talking about Kai Havertz. Now, something that somebody said on a live stream to me, I don't necessarily believe it, but I ain't got a leg to stand on based on what I'm seeing. Do you think Kai Havertz is a better fit through the middle at this moment in time than Gyökeres? I don't believe it, but I can see why that's being said.
No, I just think no. I think Havertz for the Liverpool game, I will give him that, and I'll concede that fact. But he wasn't available because he's injured. But like, I watched that game, and I remember I was a striker, so like I'm very hyper focused.
Even more in that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very hyper focused on strikers, movement, everything, what you bring to the team, everything. So, and it actually, like I've said already, Konate's strength is strength and physicality. So if I was playing even though I kind of pride myself on being a strong hold-up player, whatever, as well, I'm striker, I wouldn't have got into the battle with Konate because that's
You're
where
not
he
going to get much
thrives.
change.
Exactly. And the stats show it. When they play against Haaland, same with Saliba and Gabriel, when they play against Haaland, they love all that. Gabriel loves the fight and he gets 0.0%, what, XG or whatever it is.
That man struggle against that. Got a bit about them.
Exactly. It's the players that can get on the ball, find pockets and face you up, bring other players into play, play off you, peel off the defender. So for that game, yes. But going forward, no. Like Victor Gyökeres' goal record, and people will say the Portuguese league, whatever, but like
still got to put them in the back of the net.
Exactly. Havertz won't compare to that. I haven't seen Havertz do what Gyökeres did against Leeds with that finish when he just runs in, cuts aside, and shoots early. So like, I just think we shouldn't be progressing. Not that we shouldn't be progressing with Havertz, but I think you got to give Gyökeres a bit of time to bed in. I think man them forget like Havertz came in and we gave him time, brother. He was playing in the midfield. We had to move him, and then we had to wait to give him a charity penalty at Bournemouth. Like, let's not forget that. Like, give Gyökeres the same amount of time and respect and liability that he gave to Havertz, and then make the decision. Right now, you can't be saying that, unfortunately. So yeah, that'll be my answer to that.
No, I think you're bang on. I want to last a bit about the general comments about the attack before I get into significant things. Yeah, do you think it's more the system or the players? Because the players do have to do a bit more. They're the ones playing. But I do think the system, a bit like what I said, I think we've got a great defensive ethos across the whole team from all aspects. That's why and you throw in the recruitment. That's why I'm quite confident about anything we do defensively. Attack, I like Eze. I like Gyökeres. I like Zubimendi being the conductor, as you referred to him. I fit Odegaard, everybody's laughing. Saka does his thing. Madueke's in the mix. But I don't think it's ever been a case of you just slap these players on and we're lit. So like, do you think it's more the system or is it the players? Because if it's the system, then it's the gaffer.
Yeah, the truth. The system and the players are lipsing. They're lipsing right now because it's on Arteta though. Because the reason why I say that is because the system, in my opinion, heavily revolves around Odegaard and what Odegaard brings to the team going forward, and then the system, and then also Martinelli plays into that as well, and that's where I think we're failing. There's those two players, which then aligns with the system because you need those people. Yeah, we're hiding because we have to use those players for the system to work. But I'm like, well, you don't need those. You don't need those players for the system to work. But he's over reliant on those players for the system. If you get rid of an Odegaard and put an Eze in there, and you take off a Martinelli, put a Noni in there, and Saka's back, say, or Trossard in there, then I think you'll see the system work a bit better. But I think Arteta's too hell-bent on it. I think it is more system than players, in my opinion. But I think they're both hand in hand. I think if you release the shackles and play a more creatively attacking players, then you'll see a better system or better free-flowing Arsenal. So that's why I say they're lipsing. It's heavily on Arteta. That's mainly on Arteta. That's the truth. It's on Arteta. So, and I've always been not a big. I've been a big fan of Arteta. No, I won't hide from that fact. I've always been a big fan of Arteta, but I can call things out. And right now, that is kind of the issue. So yeah. See, I think that's kind of where we're at. I think the players, because I look at our team and think the quality of players is so good. But you have to make that work. But that's what you're getting paid to do. So it's more on Arteta in the system, in my opinion.
Exactly. And this is where Arteta needs to show if you can smash that glass ceiling. I think, if you left today, you've put us in better stead than when you was obviously walked in. But you might not be the guy to get us over the line. I always say you can't stand in the rain and complain while you're wet. In previous years, you might not have had a good summer. You might have been let down in terms of recruitment, injuries, all of these things. Luxuries were afforded to other teams. But I do think there are some Arsenal fans that are sat there, whether they believed in Arteta or initially or not, they say, you know what, you've got us into these conversations where there was times they were talking about Leicester and Spurs overtaking us. We're now second. You've got us into this realm, but now you need to get us over the line. In fact, there's many fans that would say, you know what, fair enough. We believe in the players, like the core nucleus of the players. We all know the ones that need to go, but there's more players that people like than dislike, innit? A lot of people believe in the squad and not necessarily the gaffer. Because I must admit, I'm on that side now where Arteta, everything is your fault now. As harsh as that is, everything's your fault. If you're the owner of a business, it's all your fault now. There's been different players, you've been brought stuff. Yeah, there's going to be refereeing and injuries and stuff. You need to get over the line. You have a squad capable of it. It's down to your tactics. It's down to whatever. Do you feel like it's kind of maybe not internally at Arsenal, but do you think it's either all down to Arteta to deliver now, or do you think it's now or never? Do you think it gets dark if we don't win silverware? Where's your mind space at with that?
Yeah, it's like you just said there. Like it's all like I haven't got time for excuses now. It's all on you. You've got all the tools. You can blame
Good
injuries, but
tools
you've
as
got
well, expensive
yeah,
tools, you know.
yeah. You blame injuries, but then you've got the players now. Like you've got eight new players. It's like it's like a whole new team, and that's like
Ridiculous.
from goalkeeper all the way through to the front line. So it is all on him. So sadly, now there's no excuses. So yeah, the pressure is on. He has to win silverware. Even for me, he has to win silverware. But I say silverware. I know there's again the Arteta haters or the real like I don't know the ones that they'll say standards merchants whatever. They want obviously the Premier League. But I hear it. But winning the Premier League, one when you're not favourites, is never a given. So I can't be like you must win the Premier League or it's gone. Or you're gone. I just think you have to win silverware. And yeah, people aren't going to be happy with a League Cup and FA Cup, but like there's no excuse. There's literally no excuse. So I'm different to a lot of people in that sense. I think people want the Premier League or the Champions League. I think the Premier League's a big ask, but listen, you're in it and you can win it. It's just you have to wait and see. Like I said, we're not deemed as favourites, so it's really hard to say you must win that or you're gone. But again, silverware, no excuses. This is your we're going into your 7th year. You have to pull out the bag, my friend. You have to pull out the bag. So yeah, and there will be pressure. I think it will get dark though. I know you said that as well. It will get dark.
We're on knife edge, man.
Yeah, it will get dark before the end of the season if things aren't going the way that fans are expecting it to go. So yeah, I don't even feel for him anymore because I'm getting tired. So yeah, we'll have to just wait.
You're flirting with it, bro. That's the thing. Like I like Arteta, but I'm not an Arteta sexual. I always say, yeah, if for people that back Arteta religiously and he can do no wrong, you clearly don't rate him as much as I do. And I say this because if he's been a manager, this will be his third. Forget Arsenal for a sec. This will be his 3rd year in the Champions League, right? He's got to a quarters. He's got to a semis. You finished second 1-2 times. Obviously, last season was dead for us, but you still finished second. The top 6 records there. It's a difficult game beating Arsenal. Like, fair enough, not even trying to gas us up, but you think Arne Slot isn't sitting there and thinking, right, you know what? We needed a bit of magic from Szoboszlai. We need to find something. So you've got us competing. You've got us flirting. You've got us closer to winning a Prem or a Champs than we ever have been. So I think it's fair to have those standards and questions. Like you've been, not only that, you've been backed. You've won every bit of player power. You've been brought in players. You've been allowed to bring in unpopular decisions like Marino and at a point Calafiori. I think it's fair to ask why we get over the line. I'm just talking about us Arsenal fans. We all know how the media go and the rage baiting and things like that. You need to kind of just get over the line. It's as simple as that. People don't have to be happy with the Cronkies. They've backed Arteta all the way, even to bring in a novice manager to this job. You know, Berta's come in, did very well, even with new contracts. So it's down to you to deliver, man. All the statistics are there apart from what we need. And I do think there are some people who are a bit disingenuous. And I say that because obviously at the end of the season that just went, right, you saw several teams win trophies and it felt like we were getting kicked in the gut time after time. People were saying a trophy's a trophy. If we only win the FA or the League Cup, people are going to, 12 months from now, people obviously going to change their thoughts. I'm at the point now where the fans need it, but the players need to get a taste of silverware before mental fatigue sets in. I think the only way to shut people up is the Prem or the Champs. So it leads me to ask you this, like, if you was a betting man, I know you said the Prem's difficult, which it is. The Champions League, I even think is more difficult. But like, which one would you prefer? Which one do you think we're more likely to win? It's a difficult one, man.
It is. I haven't really got the answer for this one because I want the Prem.
I want the Champs. You know, we ain't done it.
Yeah, we haven't won European. I know, but I want. This is tough. It's actually Club World Cup's not even next. It's not even next year. Actually,
and you know the Cronkies are going to want to get in that.
Yeah, that's why I'm just trying to think the Champions League, and then I want to win that. But then I don't know. I think I haven't even got the answer. But I'm kind of equal. I think because it's funny if we beat the Liverpool when they've spent all that money. Isak has come to win everything, he says in his interview, and